Today, our only conversation with the Bobcast is with track and field head coach Dale Louie, and it is ECAC Championship week. It's a short week as John Hopkins hosts the ECAC Championships on Wednesday and Thursday. And, Coach, last week you told me that this team was kind of behind schedule in terms of, weather for practice, cooperating, missing out on good weather for meets, missing out on meets themselves. In this last week and a half, no Allegheny meet. How has your team kind of been able to close that gap of where they are and where they need to be through just practice?
Well, we've had the nice weather, so that's very significant. I mean, we haven't missed any practice time due to that, not even any lightning delays or anything, so we always like that. We've been, with our runners, they've been traveling to some different spots as we have the construction down in our stadium and stuff. So, but that's worked out relatively well for us. We've adapted. So we've gotten, I think we've gotten some good workouts in. Quality's been the key word at this stage of the game. Not a lot of volume. In the field events and things, we're trying to tweak some things, and we hope that they will be rested and ready to roll.
A productive week and a half since the CAC Championships. What are you looking for specifically when you contrast the efforts at CAC Championships and the ECACs? Do you expect across the board to continue to rise up, or are there some areas where you were kind of disappointed in CACs and hoping to redeem them in ECACs?
That's almost a case-by-case answer there.
Sure.
And probably also you got a coach's answer and you might have an athlete's answer that may not match up, be honest with you. The big thing here is it's one more opportunity for these folks to get better, and we hope in an ideal situation that competition will be there, the weather will be there, and we do take advantage of that last opportunity and things, and the people are looking forward to it. It's one of the meets we have where you've got to hit some kind of qualifying standard.
Mm-hmm.
So those are goals that are built right in there, and ECACs has been for our track program something that's been of significance through the years, and our folks really do look forward to that opportunity to compete and hopefully medal. We did well indoors. We're hoping if we can come back outdoors with relatively similar kinds of experience, we'll be happy people.
Can you give me a quick overview, men's side, women's side, who we're sending, what events, and really what you're expecting?
Yeah, on the men's side, in the field events, we have in the long jump we have Kevon Adams, and we hope Shamar Nelson, who got hurt on his very first jump at the conference championships, and we're not sure if he's going to be a go or not. We hope for his sake he is. If he is a go, an okay thumbs up from the athletic trainers. The plan is simply to long jump him, although he has qualified in the 100 meters and stuff. But our focus will be to long jump if he can go. We got John Kearns doing the shot put, the discus, the hammer. Mike Harley is joining John in the hammer there. James Nail we have doing the javelin for us. On the running side, we have Robbie Romano in the 1500 and in the 4x8. And in the 4x8, he'll be joined by Jake Rickards, Tyreek Charles, and Devin Horseman Guy, the same team that qualified at Messiah earlier in the earlier in the year there. On the women's side, a few more entries there. We have both the 4x1 team and the 4x4 teams running, the same teams we had at conference, same makeup. So, in the 4x1, we're leading off with Kayla Truesdale, handing off to Gabby Reason, going to Kayleen Estrada, and then Destiny Logan will anchor us home there. In the 4x4, Destiny, Kayla, and Kayleen will be joined with Maddie Watson. Will join us there. So again, the same 4x4 team that we had at the conference championships. Both those teams are on the edge of good things in terms of personal best times. We hope we can hit nationals. We right now are sitting in a little better spot in the 4x1 than the 4x4, but both those teams are definitely within striking distance of getting in. And of course, we won't really know that until sometime Friday,
sure,
when final results all across the country are being posted there. Some of the women have decided to cut back on some of the things that they could do individually to focus on the relays. That was their choice. I find that quite admirable on their part. So like Kayleen Estrada, for example, could have been triple jumping, could have been hurdling, but right away at the conference championship, she walked up to me and said, I would just like to focus on the 2 relays. Destiny Logan could be doing the 4 and the 2 as well as the 2 relays, but she has chosen to just do the 400 and the 2 relays and stuff. So a little less some of the individual things.
Sure.
But they've kind of got their eyes on some prizes, and hopefully that works out for them. Gabby Reason will be doing the Open 100 along with Kayla, and Kayla will also be doing the Open 200 there.
Mm-hmm.
On the men's side, I missed Brad Forster. We hope we'll get in on the in the decathlon, and Tori Yoder has qualified in the javelin. She may or may not throw that, depending on whether or not she makes the cut for the
She's
heptathlon.
Also a multi-athlete.
Yeah, multi-athlete and stuff. And she may do both. As we talked about a little before we came on the air here, the schedule appears like she could possibly do that. So we'll have to make a final decision on that, sometime later today. Field events got a number of people there. Jav got Cassandra Vogel throwing along with Zoe Harris and, as I mentioned, Tori Yoder. Holly Van Wee will be throwing shot, disc, and hammer. She'll be joined in the hammer by Kirsten Tawney, will be throwing there.
There we go. Some depth as usual.
Yes, yeah. Zoe will also be throwing the shot put. And then I think the one person I've missed so far is in the hurdles, 400 hurdles, I should say. We have Kenzie Smith running for us.
So pretty large contingency on that women's side coming out. Some men also in the throwers. The men have a 4x8 relay. One thing I do want to touch on, and we talked about it last week, and you hit on it now, where when you look at those female relays, and just about every single runner has other events that they do, how often do you find that track athletes gravitate towards the relays in a championship setting or trying to get to nationals like this, and how quickly did that decision get made by the athletes themselves?
Well, I think with these women in the relays, we've been kind of setting that up really since the success they had indoors. Now that was just with the 4x4, but they recognize that, hey, we didn't miss going to nationals by too many slots. Outdoors opens up 2 more slots, so you kind of hope, that maybe that'll help the situation, and it does. With the group of women we have right now, and this is not always true, we have some women who do want to run together in relays, and that has driven some of these decisions that they've made. And I really want to stress that because we haven't, we didn't even start discussing that as coaches, with them. It would have been part of our discussion at some point, but but they made the decision for us here, which is a lot easier for us.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's kind of admirable, and I think they've made some good choices. It's very, very difficult to get to the national championships in any sport. It's extremely difficult, I think, in track and field and cross country because, there's no subjective vote. You can't pick up the phone, call 3 or 4 other coaches, call people on committees and wine and dine them and, say, hey, can we get in? This is flat out, either you've done it or you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's brutally cruel sometimes,
Yes.
in that regard. But on the positive side, you've earned it, and nobody can take that away from you.
Well, we're hoping for a nice day, good conditions, fast competition. Finally, what is a successful outing for either of your teams for ECACs come Wednesday and Thursday? What are you looking for out of your squads?
We indoors. I think all but maybe one person came home with some hardware, some medals. Which was pretty significant, I thought, and certainly makes them happy. And
yes,
and they took a picture after that meet, and there were a couple people there with a couple pieces of hardware hanging on. So I have no doubt that they'd like some kind of a repeat there of that. Again, in this track and field world, I mean, the ideal thing would be for every one of them to go there and at least get a season best. Hopefully a PR. We've got a couple seniors in the mix here. It would be fantastic if they could extend their career and/or end their career with personal best.
We're looking forward to it. It is a Wednesday-Thursday meet at Johns Hopkins, the ECAC Championships. Coach, we will talk after that. Thank you for joining us this week.
Thank you very much.